Want a cozy coop for your flock? I know you two love to sleep a lot. It all starts with the bedding that you choose. And we're going to talk about the top 5 bedding options for your chickens. So let's go. So, Steve, we hear you've had a visitor at your house lately.
Oh, yeah. I was just telling these guys, new predator drama at the Steve's Hobby Farm. Last week, middle of the day, 11:30, kids were out picking beans in the garden. Not 30 yards from where the kids are picking beans, a coyote comes in, grabs one of my young turkeys, and makes off with it. And the kid calls like, first I was so
bold.
Yeah, he's like, a fox came and got him. I'm like, okay. And we talked about it. I was like, no, it was a coyote. And so, okay, we'll make some plans. We'll figure out what we're going to do. I don't have a live trap big enough for a full-grown coyote. So we were kind of thinking about options. And like 2 mornings later, I'm in that office working, and the kids start, the coyote come back. The dogs went after.
He came back. He was where to find a good meal.
Those turkeys are delicious. I got 2 dogs, a bigger one and a smaller one. They went after him. Well, that ended up taking that smaller one. They got in the brawl with that coyote.
No.
A few $100 to get her stitched up.
Oh, is she all right?
Yeah, she's going to be all right. But again, a good reason to have dogs. But I still haven't got that coyote, so we got a nighttime stakeouts or something going on at my place.
Well, it sounds like you need a daytime stakeout. It keeps coming
I was
in the middle of the
surprised
day.
that bold, right in the
That
middle
is
of the
bold
day.
for a coyote to
People
come that close
right
to
out
people.
there with them, and he still came up there and got them. So
That's a
it's
hungry
just
coyote.
another example of, hey, you guys got to be ready for predators.
You know what you could do?
Maybe build a fence, finish the fence that I started a few years ago.
I was thinking if you just, put up a board and paint like a tunnel and then put a sign that says free turkeys,
There you
then
go.
maybe he'll just run into it and hit the wall.
There you go. let me get on to acme.com and order some supplies.
Exactly.
Let us know how that goes.
Okay.
All right, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something a little more happy.
Okay.
Bedding.
Bedding.
Bedding, very important. So let's see what the internet has to say are the top 5 bedding choices.
Okay.
Number 1, pine shavings.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's readily available. Just about any farm and ranch store is going to have it in stock. It's not particularly expensive, and it works pretty good. So
This is what I use in my coop right now.
yeah, so do I for the most part.
For the deep bedding, I've got sand in some other areas, but for just the main floor, the deep bedding, I use the pine shavings. I like it because it's biodegradable. Right when I do my cleanings, I just take it, put it on the compost pile, and they break down with all the rest of it. They're easy, they're soft. I don't get a lot of splinters or that kind of stuff some of the other issues that you have with straw. So that's what I use.
Yeah, it's really good at keeping the moisture down and the odors down as well. So some good pine shavings will make your coop not smell bad. And it's great compost material. So when you do clean it out, just throw it on the compost pile, and you're starting that cycle to helping your garden grow, so you can grow some great food for your chickens so they can poop on the bedding, and around and round we go.
All right, on to number 2. And Steve, you already mentioned this one.
Straw.
Straw. Yep.
So straw is what I use for the first probably 10 years.
I've used it before as well.
It works really well. The problem with straw is you can buy like chopped up straw, and I think that might be different. I would just buy belts of straw and throw it in there, and it would clump and mat and just turn into this icky. I hated cleaning out that at the end of the winter because it was just these big clumps of straw and poop and ammonia. It doesn't drain well. It seems to hold that moisture. That's why I finally changed from straw to pine bedding. But a lot of people use straw and have good luck. But like I say, I used it for a decade, but I found that I prefer pine shavings.
So straw is really great for insulation. So if you're doing like a deep litter method and it's winter time, you're probably not going to get a better bedding material than straw as far as insulative properties. You mentioned chopped straw. Chopped straw is probably better than the longer strands because It's going to reduce the amount of dust in the coop, and it encourages really natural scratching behavior in the chickens, which is healthy for them. So it's a pretty good option,
Yeah.
I think. And
All right.
It
I don't
still
mind
works. A
using
lot of
it.
people use it.
Yeah.
So the internet says for number 3, well, I think it's kind of weird, sand.
Yeah, sand's actually a really good option, particularly if you're in an area where it's wet. So it's a lot of humidity, and those humid conditions are going to make it difficult to keep the coop and the bedding dry, because it drains really well and it'll draw that moisture away from the chickens. So yeah, a lot of people in the humid climates are going to opt for sand, and I understand why.
That's what I use under my dropping board, because it's really easy to just go in there with that poop shovel, clean it up, get that stuff out of there.
Yep. It's like a litter box.
It's fantastic. It really is. Sand, I think, is probably if I were going to tell someone, it's like, you got one chance to do this right, go with sand.
Yeah.
It's more expensive and more work to haul that sand in and do that kind of stuff, as opposed to getting a bale of straw. But over the long run, you're going to be glad you did.
You don't want to use the really fine play sand.
Correct.
Go with like a coarse builder's sand or something like that. Otherwise, it's gonna get clumped up and messy, and it's gonna hold the moisture a little bit more than the coarser sand will.
Yeah.
And how deep do you want your? A couple inches?
Where I'm on my poop board, yeah, it's like 3, maybe 4 inches deep.
But yeah, a couple inches is probably fine.
All right. Number 4, hemp bedding. Hemp. What do you think?
I've heard of this. I've a lot. I've never tried it. I've never seen it available. I probably haven't looked, but I've never tried it. I know it's supposed to be really absorbent, which is going to help with your moisture and your odors with the 2 big things in the chicken coop. It also is going to break down, like your straw, your wood chips. So that's another advantage to it. I think it's also a little bit softer. Like I say, when I talked about that straw, sometimes that's a little bit. You get some of that heavy chopped straw. It's not exactly snuggly. You see these people up there in the hayloft taking, I ain't sleeping in that scratchy, pokey stuff, right? But hemp's a little bit softer. So
Yeah, actually, I just recently, within the last few days, went over to the Farm and Ranch store and got some pine shavings. And I was considering getting some hemp bedding instead of my normal pine shavings. In addition to all the things that Steve talked about, it supposedly lasts a lot longer than pine shavings. And then I saw the price. And they're really proud of their hemp bedding. It does have a lot of great qualities that maybe make it a better option than the pine shavings. But the price drove me away, and I came home with more pine shavings. Yeah, so it is pretty expensive.
Okay, let's move on to the last one. Wood pellets. You ever tried this?
I've never tried it with chickens. I know wood pellets are super absorbent, and they're going to hold a lot of water. They're going to expand as the moisture comes in contact with them, making it even a softer bedding area, and it's low dust. So it's really good for the respiratory health of your chickens as well.
yeah, I've seen the same type of thing. Really good if you've got areas where you have problems with water, standing water, that kind of stuff. It helps absorb that, dry the area out, turns it basically into a fluffy bedding. I've never actually tried it, so I don't know from firsthand experience. I know a lot of people use it in my neighborhood. They'll buy it for horses.
Right.
It's big for that, but I've seen it in chicken coops as well.
Yeah, horses, large goats, I've seen it used for. So if you're one of those hobby farmers, you have horses and you're buying wood pellets for bedding for them already, yeah, it's probably a good option. But if you just have the chicken coop, might not be my first choice, but I think it would work just fine.
And that really comes down to when we talk about bedding, what's available, right? In some areas of the U.S., peanut shells. In some areas of the world, rice hull.
Right.
You know, it just depends on what's available around you. And for some people, that's going to work really, really great.
Yep.
And for other people, it's like, I don't.
What's available, what's affordable,
Yeah.
all these things come into play.
There are a couple of things, however, I didn't mean to cut you off. So
No, go ahead.
you want to avoid,
Uh-huh.
like sawdust. That's when I see sometimes recommended because it's pretty much available anywhere. And there's
It's
going to be some
free.
sort of lumber
Yeah.
or whatever. It's not a good. That sawdust is not a good option.
No, they're going to be breathing in that sawdust, and it's not really good for their respiratory health. And there are some woods that you don't want to use wood shavings from. Cedar, it has toxic phenols in there, so it can cause respiratory problems in birds. And any treated lumber. So it's going to have a lot of chemicals to treat the lumber, and it's going to be in those shavings, and it can be toxic to the birds. So stay away from that stuff as well.
All right. What do we think of this list? Do you like it?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good list. Again, depends on where you live,
Yeah.
what's going to be the best option for you, but these are all good options.
So there you go, miracle. Internet got it right, apparently. So there's 5 great options for bedding, as well as a few that you might want to avoid. Keep your chickens healthy. If any of you have used wood pellets, we'd like to hear about it in the comments.
Yep.
Or any other bedding that we didn't mention. Send us some pics. Make a comment. We love to read them, love to see them. And if you have a question, put it in there. And as always,
Thanks, everybody.
Keep on hobby farming.
There you go. That was the handoff.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't
It wasn't smooth.
It was like it's still
The process.
pre-season.
But I figured it out eventually.